Hello. How are you guys doing? Let's make sure you guys can hear and see me okay. Let's see. Hello from Maine. Hello, Kara. How are you doing? The Anne, greetings from Germany. Hello. Rose Boleyn. Hello from France. Hello. Burbank. Hello. Is it Brandon? Brandon. Oh my gosh. This is a fun one, by the way. I've prepared quite a bit for this. I've already sprayed my eggs. We're gonna run over that whole process of how that works. Um, but you will see like how I haven't dyed them yet, so we are experimenting on that part on camera. Tamara, hi from Denver. Hello. Let's see, Miss Peregrine. Hello from France. Another one in France. Leeds, UK. I don't know where Leeds is, Zoe, but hello. I need to look that up. How are you guys doing? So it's East. Well, tomorrow's Easter, but this feels like Easter. And yesterday was so sunny that I was like, oh, let's do this in the solarium. It's going to be perfect. And it is dreary and raining, and it's not very springish looking outside, but and things aren't like blooming here. That's something else we can talk about in a second. But there is this like green stuff that grows here in this back. And so it kind of perpetually is springish looking right behind my head. But then if you scroll up, you'll see like the trees are not alive yet. I'm trying to think. But so this is something I've noticed since coming to, gosh, where am I? New York State from California. In California, with like Easter's at my parents' house, like you dyed eggs and it was flowers and bees and butterflies and caterpillars out in the garden. And I watched that movie Steel Magnolias a million times, and like Easter looked like Easter was supposed to there. Easter doesn't look like that up here. It's they're a little late on the appearance of things. Like last Easter, I was driving around and I saw like snow in people's yards, and it was like, this isn't Easter. What's happening here? So, there's pros and cons to everything, and one of them is like, hey, it's not very springish looking. Hello from Spain. Hello, Sylvia. Okay. Your windows are so full of green. Like I said, it's only right here behind my where do we begin? Because I've got a lot to talk about. Hello from Indiana. Hello, Sarah. So, where I'm going to start with the eggs. So, the very first thing I did, gosh, I don't have her name right in front of me right now. If you go into the description of the post where I announced this, a patron said, if you don't like scuff up the surface of the plastic eggs and you just spray paint them and then soak them, the paint could theoretically come off. So I added like a little notation and I put her name in there to sand these down once before you spray paint them. So I did that step. Let's see. Hold on. I don't think I can hold this in any longer. There are 2 episodes coming this month. One of them is public and one of them is just for you guys. The public one, I did a lampshade. I've never done a lampshade. And I don't want to like oversell something so that when you see it, you're not as like happy or impressed. But to me, it's the prettiest lampshade I've ever seen. So, and it's an involved episode. It's all hand stitched, every little bit of it. So you're going to see that whole thing. And it is, I haven't like edited together, but I'm going to be doing that, and then I'm shooting your episode tomorrow, and so they will be coming very soon. Your episode, should I give that away? Let me think on that. Maybe I won't give that away, but it's something you can totally do, and it's super fun. Oh, you like the dress? Okay, let me tell you about this dress. I got it on eBay, and I mentioned before, don't ever buy clothes that are under the size that you like wear, because so my weight fluctuates about like 5 to 6 pounds like at any given time of the month. And so when I bought this, I was like super, like I was kind of like too thin. I was working on the wallpaper thing, and for some reason I got so sucked into that I stopped eating. And so I ordered it like on like a whim. It showed up and I put it on and it was like, oh my gosh, it fits so good. And I was like, I can wear this size. Wow. And I was so jazzed. And then just now, like I know I'm not like the weight I was at that, which is good. I was kind of like skeletal looking. And so I just now, the captive was helping me zip into it. And I was like, ah. So I literally feel like a sausage, like encased, and my mobility is a little limited, but it's a pretty color. And it's Easter. Easter has, by the way, everything I love. I think it's got the original zombie, it's got candy, it's got pastels, it's just got everything. So I've just always loved Easter. It's always been something I've really like looked forward to. Let's see. I'm gonna see, can you show us how to add a corset back to a vintage dress? Yes, I think I'm going to actually, what am I going to do? I'm going to create a girdle, like as an episode, I'm going to like make a girdle that's really pretty and has kind of a corset worked into the design because I've never seen that. I've never seen like a girdle that does what I'm wearing because I'm not wearing a corset now, but I'm wearing a girdle that like kind of makes your boobs pointy but I'd love to design one that actually also had like an apparatus to like cinch your waist kind of severely. So that's what I plan to do. What a beautiful encased sausage. Thank you. I don't know if I'm kosher or not, but okay, let's see. Hello from Florida. Hello, Sandy. Okay, so let's start by showing you, by the way, these are all of the eggs. These are just cheap plastic eggs. Oh my gosh, of course. I knew this was going to be dicey. I'm in a very cramped space. So we've got a second camera set up so I can show you. These are just like Dollar Tree, wherever you go, they're everywhere, cheap plastic eggs. They've got holes in them, and I couldn't figure out why they had holes. And the captive was like, is that to like stop little kids from like choking? And I was like, that makes the most sense. So the holes, while great for like saving the lives of children, hinder what we're trying to do. So I've developed a workaround from that. Okay, so let's start by, I'm going to take these little silly ones and I'm going to show you. I literally just painted my nails seconds before I hit. So like, are they dry? I don't know. We'll see what they look like at the end. I never ever go have my nails done. So the only way to make sure that they're going to look really like shiny and professional is to do them seconds before they're going to be like on camera or something. And then within like an hour or two, they start looking like, I don't know, very, very questionable. I'm going to set that down. Okay. So I took a little bit of masking tape. By the way, Poof. Somehow Poof was up here and he got his little hairs on a few things. I used the holes to put twine through to hang the eggs. That's a genius idea. Okay, I didn't think about that. What about wooden eggs? Etching. I love that idea. The reason, I have a specific reason for using these particular kinds of eggs is, you know, like if you do an Easter egg hunt with like little kids, they like a prize. Like they want something. I don't know in what tragic world that like eggs were like the equivalent of candy to children. Like I don't remember ever being like excited about getting like a real egg and going, great. Like a garden temperature boiled egg that was done last night. So anyway, the reason I got the hollow ones is because you can put candy in them, and then you can keep them year after year, theoretically, if this works. And then you can have Easter egg hunts over and over, and maybe you make a few more every year and you add to your collection, but in theory, it'll be less and less work. Okay, let's see. So you've got one, the little holes and you just take a little, you don't need a lot, just a little bit of the tape and you pop that and I just work it in with my fingers. On both sides. And the next step, I'm not going to do on camera, but I'll show you what I did because I'm trying to get to the fun, like dying part to see if this is even going to work out. So I used some spackle, some drywall spackle. You could really honestly, if you don't have this on hand, you can mix a little bit of cornstarch, flour, and water into a really thick paste. And I just took this little globs and I filled in the little holes and that little, they have like a divot on the bottom and the top. So I filled those over, really messy. You don't have to do it fancy. So once I had done that, took some sandpaper. And this was the step, I'm gonna have to go back. I think her name was Jana, but I hate saying like the wrong thing. So I'm just gonna double check because I guess I'm allowed to. Jackie Antes. Thank you so much, Jackie. You potentially saved me from getting on camera and having like a big catastrophe, which this still might be, but we're gonna find out. Which, by the way, I think I just saw a text from my niece, Chloe. She said, "You are the most beautifully encased sausage ever." Thank you, Chloe. Chloe is my niece that horrifying. She's so pretty. And she started out as this, I mean, I've obviously known her since she was like that big. And she's so beautiful that it's like, I want you to go back to being that itty bitty little thing that was like rummaging through my drawers and pulling things out and being mischievous. And now she's just running around breaking hearts. Okay. The second cam is super blurry. Let me see if I can't. Okay. You guys hold on 1 second. I can address that. So give me just 1 second. I'll fix the blurriness of the camera. Okay, is that better? Da, 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 da. Okay. Someone said, do a video with Chloe. I have a very strict policy of never being documented next to somebody who's prettier than me. And I suggest you all take up that same advice. Anytime somebody, I was like, Dita has been like, let's take a picture together. And I'm like, get away from me. You go over there. Now, obviously, if like people are just asking you to take a picture with you, you're gonna like look crazy if you say that. So I can't always say that, but I'm thinking it. So if you come up to me and you're like, let's take a picture, and I'm like, sure, like know that that's what I think about you. It's a compliment, but let's see. I see my favorite Cadbury mini eggs. All the real Cadbury eggs were gone. And I went to Walmart, Lowe's, and like a few other places, and there were no Cadbury eggs. The big ones. See when she turns into a DIY queen, like her aunt. No, I'm planning on like Snow Whiting her. Like if she keeps getting prettier, like I'm gonna have to like make some apples. Okay, I did take a picture. Ah, Claire. Yes, Claire was like, let's take a picture. And I was right there. And I was like, she's very pretty. And I think she knows that. Okay, so you've got this thing, theoretically, you've got it taped up. You've got some dried spackle on it. And then you're just going to take this, and I don't know how loud this is going to be. But let me switch this over. I find that sort of sandwiching the sandpaper between your fingers and you just work. It seems to go the fastest if you do this. And then you kind of just roll up and start doing. Okay, it's popping open on me. Oh, it's silent. It's not making a bunch of noise. Okay, good. Here, I'll put it over here. You can hear all of it. Okay. Well, I was doing this a whole lot more thoroughly yesterday, but basically you just want to scuff up any surface that looks shiny at all. And I kind of like really scuffed these up because Jackie kind of got me paranoid that these were gonna kind of just go to junk. So I did that. Now here is my secret weapon. So once they were ready to be painted, I bought this. It's Krylon textured sandstone, and I'm gonna see. Actually, you need to see it like that. I'm trying to QVC this a little bit. Anyway, so what this does is if you look at real eggs, they have like a texture because they were made inside the womb of a chicken. And so once that was dry, because that's going to be kind of like a grayish brown, then I took this. It's Krylon Chalky Finish. I'm not really good at, I think they would fire me at QVC. Oh, someone said don't breathe those fumes. Do this outside. The wind is blowing in your face. Like, obviously, wear a mask. I didn't wear a mask. Honestly, I do so many terrible things. I feel certain I'm going to be somebody who like gets the worst case of lung cancer, and I don't smoke. Okay, so chalky finish. Do that. I think it took like 2 coats of that. And you want to keep it a distance from the eggs. Oh, this is also critical. Pull up my little basket of magic. So the way you set these up so that you can spray paint all the way around them, toothpicks and a little bit of foam. And you just take 1 toothpick. And obviously you'll have some sort of dried spackle, so it'll hold even better. And you pierce it just a little bit through one of the holes. Okay, the spackle really helped. And then I just went like that. So that way you can paint all the way around it without touching it or getting fingerprints on it. So I don't, might seem silly to you, but I'm like really proud with how these came out looking because they look like eggs at a glance. If it weren't for the ridge you can see that goes around them, I don't think you'd be able to tell if they weren't a real egg. Okay. Cornstarch, I think cornstarch and a little bit of flour, because flour's got the glucose. I don't know. It's got the sticky when it gets wet, and it'll become gummy, and it should work. And you need so little, like I said. They sure look like eggs from here. Everything looks better from far. I know. I'm like, my nails look nice. It's like all of these lights. It creates some magic. Okay. Do you guys want to see if this is going to work or not? I'm very curious. The first thing I'm going to do, and I haven't done this off camera, I'm going to take a blade and cut just a little bit around them so I can release them. Because we need to open these. put marbles in. Okay. Oh my gosh. Ah, look at that. Did that work out? I mean, it's pretty good. I don't think it's too bad. Okay, it only matters how it reads on camera. I completely agree, Elizabeth. Okay, so I'm going to cut around a few more of these. Can the paint layers crack around the seal? Oh my gosh. Okay. The answer is yes. I do not need to be. And you get a cleaner. Okay. I can't pronounce that. It looks like a K-I-L-I-V-O. Thank you for that suggestion. Okay, you don't need the X-Acto blade. I was just going to eat up a bunch of time for no reason. You just pop them, they pop open. Nice. Easy peasy. Okay, so since I'm doing that, so they were out of marble. And so I just got, they're called glass gems. I think people use them in like floral stuff. Get some scissors. Would these eggs be turned into ghosts or spiders? I'm not exactly sure. By the way, I did see somebody's suggestion for using black paint on them. I love that idea. I'm mad I didn't come up with that on my own. So I think that's a terrific idea. So you just kind of want to put in enough that it like weights them down when you put them underwater. I'm very excited to see if this works. I'm sure it will take the color. I have no doubt about that. But will it like oversaturate them? I don't know. Vanta Black would be interesting. I have some Vanta Black. I've never used it because I've never had like a reason, but I've been wanting to see. It's supposed to be like the blackest black, if I'm correct. Okay, let's see how this is going. Okay, this is going pretty well so far. Do you guys have any questions while I do this kind of tedious little thing? I am so obscenely excited for you guys to see that lampshade episode. I won't say too much. I'm going to talk a lot in the episode. And by the way, it's a sewing episode. So what does that mean? It means every pet on Earth in like a 50-mile radius came to like get involved. So there's like a lot of like cute animal shenanigans going on. I want to know about your necklace. It's a necklace. I only wear costume jewelry. And it's a set. And I didn't know this when I started like ordering costume jewelry on eBay. What are your plans for Easter? I'm just going to be shooting the next episode. So this is my Easter, basically. What was I talking? This necklace. I didn't know it's called a parure. Parure, that I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. A parure is a set, meaning like a brooch, earrings, a bracelet, and a necklace. And so I got really particular about only ordering parures of jewelry so I could have parure. Am I saying it wrong? I feel like I'm saying it wrong. But anyway, I don't know what the name of it was. I didn't pay any attention. I would look for different colors, so I would have like a different color to go with every foreseeable outfit. Okay. These are feeling like eggs to me. And I'm maybe gonna do some big ones. I got these ones. They're kind of like goose eggs almost. Yeah, I didn't need that blade at all. They just like, I think it's that chalk. Both of the paints I used are pretty like chalky. With your great painting skills, you'll make beautiful painted eggs. Okay. I do not want to oversell how this is going to turn out because I am the slowest artist on earth, which means it, if I have all the time in the world, which obviously in a live stream I don't, I could do something really spectacular. So we're going to see what I can do in a short span of time. I kind of like that I'm a slow artist because you can always tell people you're slow. And then that way, if you do something like really quickly and it looks like junk, you can say, I told you I was a slow artist. And then if it comes out really good, you can just be like, well, I don't know, I got lucky. How is your precious new pup doing? He's fine. They have started this barking thing, and I don't like dog barking. And it's like whenever any kind of sound happens, they start barking. And I don't know what to do about that. I don't yell because I hate yelling. So I'm just like, ugh. And he's cute. He's so cute. And he loves the captive. They're like best friends. They sleep together. It's very sweet. I'm a cat person. I know that I love all animals. I will play with anything. But just if you ever cats are where it is at. They're calm. And when they're playful, it's fun. They never bite you. Like the little puppy like bit my nose. So he's bonkers. Training. Yeah, I should look into that. I haven't. I'm a better cat owner because it requires kind of less. Really, honestly, they're easier. And if you get a really, really good one, although I've also been around really wonderful dogs, so you can have that same kind of relationship. But you don't have to take cats out for a walk. And it's if you leave somewhere, you can have like somebody come check on them. And they're very happy to like take care of themselves. And dogs like are like, they're not like that. You just have to do a stern voice. Carrie, you are welcome to come here and attempt. It's not working. Like I said, I don't like doing stern voices. I like, I don't know, things being pleasant, and the sound of dogs like barking is. Ugh. You should release a coffee table book of your work. There is a potential second book. Potential. We'll see. My manager is looking into things. That feels pretty good. I'm going to do a few more of the goose egg ones. And we're almost ready. Would you ever consider doing a behind the scenes episode of how you film and how you edit your videos? I did consider that. Who would film it? Because we've got that's sort of we've run out of people. It's just 2 people. So I could show some of the editing for sure. But let me think about that. I don't know if it's not a glamorous looking episode, that's for sure. And there's a lot of like it's stressful. Like I was stressed pulling this off because I'm literally juggling the lampshade episode that I just finished the lampshade like 2 days ago. And I had to get supplies for the next episode. And then I had to get supplies for this. So I've been running around and they can get very like stressful. And then right before, so I was stressed about this. And then right as I sat down and I saw like everything looks so happy, I was like, why am I stressed? I'm very excited about this. And that's usually how it works. A little sip of water. Ah! Someone said it would be nice to see you not looking like a beauty contest winner all the time, maybe. I would like that, except there is a part of my brain that like won't allow that to happen. I'm horribly vain, but we'll see. Okay. I haven't dyed eggs 8, 10 years. It's been forever. So I don't even remember how to do this. So let's find out. My plan is the way I'm going to do this. I'm going to dye the eggs first. And then once they're dry, I'm going to like paint some stuff on with acrylic paint. Let's see. How many cats do you have? Only 3. I love cats. Archimedes, by the way, he's my little white, like my beefy boy. We call him Beef because he is getting slightly more plus sized by the day, even though you kind of like having to be a little careful with his food. He's the most happy cat you've ever, and him and Arthur Buttons are best friends. They just roll around and play together. Arthur Buttons does test his patience. Okay, so you bend. So I think it's Paz is the brand that sells the, I got them at Archimedes. I saw Archimedes. I got them at Walmart. I'm having a stroke. I think it's Paz. I think I can see it over there. They do the egg dyes, and it's hard to find like just the original. They always have ones that like come with like cars or this or that, and you can just buy them and discard those things, like the stickers. All you need is this and a little dye packet. Let's see what's going to happen right now because we are very, very close. I've got a pitcher of water. Let's see how this works out. I put too much water in that actually. Some water in here. And some. Too much. Okay. We should release the dye packet. Okay. Let's see what colors we get. I don't see green, but maybe it turns green. Green. I should have got a star. Paintbrushes. Okay, do you see that? Now let me drop in another one. That looks like red, but like it's a really weak looking color. Maybe that tablet needs to. Let's go over here into the blue. Is that a Lisa Eldridge lipstick? It is. I didn't. I was applying it just before the camera started going, and the color I like, Velvet Fawn. It's got like an oranginess to it that I think is really terrific. It's been ages since you've dyed eggs. Wait, are you supposed to use vinegar for the dye? Is that like, I didn't read the instructions. I have vinegar. Hi from the UK. Hello, Megan. Okay. Well, let's see. Okay, so what I'll do, I won't mix any more colors. We'll see what happens here. If nothing happens, then we'll get some vinegar involved. Vinegar smells awful. I don't like pickled stuff. It's it's one of the things that I like. Olives and pickles. Ugh. I'm not going to die if like a pickle is on a sandwich, but pickled, like people who just like eat a pickled pickle, like a giant one. No. Not that you should feel bad if you like pickles. I'm sure I'm so excited to see if this works. All right, it's the moment of truth. I'm going to start with the green. Now a fried pickle. That is a big no. Pickled eggs, when you see people with like the big jars of pickled eggs, it hits my gag reflex for some reason. So distilled white vinegar, like I said, I did not read. We're going to see if this happens. It's going to be so sad if it like doesn't work at all. It's not looking good. And it's floating. Go down. Maybe if you... All right. I have contingency plans. Yeah, you need white vinegar for the dyes to work. I'm going to put you on hold for one moment, and I'm going to get some vinegar, which is, I'm going to need a pitcher to put some of this water in. So hold on 1 second. I will be right back. I'm back, and we have vinegar. So let's dry our cups and try this again. By the way, my backup plan, if this doesn't work, which by the way, something that also, if this doesn't work, it could be the paint that I used. Maybe it's not a porous enough paint. And if I used like a primer paint, it could have done the job. So even if this is a failure, it doesn't mean the technique can't work. I'm also stubborn, and I don't like just abandoning a potential idea just because the first time doesn't work out. Let's try this again. I'm trying not to dye my fingers because I did so much dyeing on the lampshade episode that my, like literally this thumb is like, was beet orange for a while. Okay. Savvy. All right. Let's see what happens here. I have to, oof, smells like pickles. Let's pour that in. See, what would I do without you guys? Like, I wouldn't have thought to, I would have just been like, wow, weird, it doesn't take. You might wonder, why do we have a giant jug of vinegar? And it's because the captive is always cleaning things with vinegar. And I come in and I'm like, it smells awful in here. Okay. Gosh, that's heavy. Not so much vinegar? Did I? Wait, does it need water too? You know what? Whatever. I'm just doing straight vinegar. Let's see what happens. Vinegar. Okay, I'll try one. I'm having a blast, by the way. Even if this doesn't work out, I'm still having a good time. Oh my God. Oh, Nick asked about the Christmas gifts. I need to post on the top tier for 2021. Those gifts are done. Or actually, they're just seconds from being done. Something had to happen because obviously production is bonkers slow right now. They came here, something happened, they went back, and now they are preparing to ship. So they are happening very soon. This is super fun. I'm telling you, I'm having the best time. It's like preschool or something. It's such a fun, silly. Let's drop some tablets in there. You should always read the instructions, and I almost never do. What a pretty, it's a very nice blue. Should we talk about music? I'm going to just tell you about a band that I found that I love. It's called Cannons with an S, and it's cannon like a cannon, like a pirate cannon. And they have a new album out, and it is, I just stumbled upon it. And throughout the lampshade episode, and just for the last like few weeks, I've just been listening to it nonstop, and it's so good. Virtually every song on the album is good. And I haven't, it's been a while since I've come across an album that I liked everything. Did somebody, is it 2 tablets or 1 tablet? You can double up on the tablet. Okay, well, let's do that because I've doubles on that. Oh no, that was an orange one. Okay, well, let's see what happens if we go crazy. I bought like several of these packets. Let's see. Food coloring on latex paint, question mark. Don't judge me. We'll see how this works out. It's not looking good, but that doesn't mean it just won't happen. It just means it's not very likely to work out. Okay. Get another green going. I feel like I'm definitely gonna end up with dyed fingers. Somebody said, I have my great-great-grandparents' dishes from 1865. And you have them? That would be such a dream to have like something that belonged to your family like that. I think my mom has all of these photographs and like cool things, which is pretty like a lot of her, because she was an only child, a lot of stuff sort of funneled down to her. And so she has like tons of history, but I don't think we have anything that's like quite as old as great, other than like a painting or it's a photograph that's been like manipulated from like the late 1800s, I think. Okay. Now let's find out if this is going to do anything different, which by the way, has that taken any of the color? I do not believe it has. Okay, so let's transfer this over. My little, is that working? That might work. The vinegar might work. It's fizzing. Is that right? Is that bad? Well, let's just see what happens there. Try Rit dye. That's actually a fantastic idea. Okay, so we've got a blue one going now. This might work. We're gonna find out. Does the vinegar, I don't know anything about what vinegar is comprised of. Does it have like an acidic sort of thing that like eats? They are fizzling. Okay, another backup plan. If this just doesn't work, I'm going to have the captive bring me some fabric dye and we will attempt, oh my gosh, hold on 1 second. Hand those over, please. Oh my gosh, you're so smart. So green, is that blue? Red, black. Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll find out. We'll do something. Okay, we're back. Now, if RIT dye does not dye them, nothing is going to. It's just going to be, I don't know how well that's working. You know what? I'm going to eat some candy. Pass the time if you don't mind. Oh my God, the Cadbury ones. I'm going to be real with you. I'm not sure this is working. So we're going to plan B this. It doesn't work a lot. So let's try some Kelly green. Ooh, hold on 1 second. Thank you. The best color, yellow. Okay, so let's try handling fabric dye without gloves is just begging for something bad to happen. Okay. Let's see. Cadbury chocolate is the best. It kind of is. Okay, now we're going to find out. I can't imagine a world in which fabric dye doesn't do it. I should have like put more weights in this one because it keeps wanting to float up. Okay, let's see what happens with this one. We'll let it marinate in its own juices. Fuchsia. I'm like, how did I even end up with a fuchsia one? I'm literally putting fabric dye in vinegar. So I don't know what's going to happen. Oh no, that's too much. Now I've got too much liquid. I've potentially created a bomb here because ugh, it smells awful. Okay. Let's see. How could fabric dye not work? See, when it pops up for a second, it looks right, but then you let it sit for a minute. Maybe you just have to like, okay. I'm trying to save the chickens, which is why I'm not using real eggs. And this is not seeming very easy. You want to show people how to do something in a way that's like, oh, there's like a simple solution to that. But if you have to go through 50,000 steps, it's like, let me think. I will not be defeated. Oh no. Getting flashbacks of the time I accidentally squirted red shoe polish on my favorite dress. In that case, dye the dress red. That's my logic. If I got something on this, it would just become whatever that color was. Don't you have to boil the rhytide? You guys are killing me. It could be. It could be more effective. But dye is usually like, if you want evidence that dye doesn't necessarily need to be heated, stick your finger in a bottle of dye and see if it takes, and it will take. I think getting eggs from the farm where they're happy is okay. They lay the eggs anyway. So my parents have a chicken, and this poor chicken lays eggs randomly, and this chicken is 1,000 years old. Because my parents did this for a while, where they had like a whole bunch of chickens, and for one reason, it turns out one of these chickens is immortal and is still alive, and I think all of the other chickens died like naturally 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And this one chicken, I was saying, it's kind of like maybe this one chicken is like Highlander for chickens, and it's just gonna live forever. But so yeah, catery. The problem is, the real bare bones of it is, anytime people start making money off of animals, the treatment of the animals just plummets. So it's not that you can't find somebody who's very careful and like really wonderful, because you can, but it's bad. So that's why I'm trying to do this. And again, you get to keep these in theory if they're working. This is not working. Okay. I said I had a contingency plan, and I did. Okay. In the future, if you do this, spray paint the egg the color you want, and then do the fun, pretty stuff afterward. That is a very simple solution. Okay. It is the most embarrassing tinge of green. Like, if you want to see, it's sort of greenish. You can see the one that went in the dye. Okay. Hold on. We're going to clean up this disaster very quickly. I will be right back with you. Hello again. We're trying to find a workaround. Like I said, I get very stubborn, and I'm like, I'm going to see if I can't make something work. We're going to try airbrush paints without airbrushing them. Who knows? So in the future, when I do this, I will spray paint them the color that I like, a pastel color, And if I used my airbrush, truthfully, you can get results that look just like you dyed them. It's not as like fun as like dipping them in like a magical like elixir and having them come out like a fun color. So shoot, like I said, experiment. Jackie at least helped me get this far. Let's see. How are you guys doing? We appreciate that you are learning, going through this learning with us. Thank you. Let's have some more candy. Do you guys have any questions? Well, I scarfed down. I haven't eaten anything today because I knew this dress was going to be snug. And I was like, huh. I use Createch airbrush paint. It's for fabric. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take a photo of that comment so I can remember that. I take photos of everything. That's the only way I know I can have like a documented. Sometimes I'm like, around this date, somebody said something. And I can always go back to it. Okay, hold on one second. I'm gonna try this again. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. You're so fast. Okay. Hello again. Now let's see. So we're gonna try to mix some paint and water and see if that does something. I'm gonna do one. That way, if this just totally goes to pot, we haven't wasted a whole bunch of paint. So I'm gonna try yellow. Citadel makes a good spray paint primer that works well on plastic. So far, the paint is not coming off of these guys. They are looking to mix in some of that and see if this does anything. I'm skeptical, but I'm also hopeful. Okay, well, I mean, it's not doing something. Is the lampshade episode up yet? No, it is. I need to edit. I need to film the talking segments and then edit it all together, but it will be coming up. It will be posted within days. So, and it's really good. It's one of my very favorites. I'm so jazzed about it, and I love the shade itself so much. This is not working. It's okay. I'm going to just let it sit for a while, and I'm going to try my other ideas while we do that. It's so funny. This house is obviously so much bigger than the old house. And we thought, moving here, it's like, oh, bigger house means you're going to be able to have so much more space. And somehow I still manage to like create these funny little areas to film in which I'm sort of like trapped. I'm not a very claustrophobic person, really. So it doesn't bother me. But if you were, it may not be something that you like. Someone said try a darker color in there. I'm game for that. Let's see what happens. Let's go blue. This is how you learn trying things. Totally. The lampshade episode is a perfect example of that because there was a whole bunch of stuff that I did. Some things worked, something, ooh, look how pretty that's looking. Look at that. That could possibly. trying not to get my fingers painted. Whatever. You're your own captive? Totally. Okay. Let's try this again. A blue. You know? Hold on. It's like, it kind of fools you. It looks like it's working. And then it starts bleeding, but that actually, that might work. Hold on. Let's let it soak for a little longer. I wonder if it's because it's a painted surface and this is paint. And so it's melting with it. Less water may dilute the color less. That makes sense. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good about that color. Now, obviously, how long when you put the egg in to do what it's going to do, how long do you leave them in the solution? When I was a kid, it seemed like you did it like really quickly. Speaking of lampshades, do you know where to find inexpensive Victorian shade frames? Or did you make the frame yourself? I did not make the frame myself. I want to do that. And inexpensive Victorian lampshades don't exist. You can, this is what you do. You can go to like antique places and hunt around for like the oldest, most tattered looking, because you will get a better deal usually if the lampshade just looks trashed. And that's what I did here. So I did get this for less, but I mean, like, if I'm just being totally honest with you, lampshade frames, especially like antique ones, they are pricey, and it's because they are obviously becoming progressively more rare and harder to come by. So you can't, I got one once for $5 and it was just sitting outside and nobody cared about it. And she was like, oh, $5. And that was the best deal I've ever gotten on a Victorian era lampshade. And it was completely like rotted away. Okay, that is a blue egg. Where did I, let me put this over here. So that, it's a little mottled looking. Mottled. Let's see. You guys, I was so convinced that just the egg dye was going to do this. Sometimes you can talk yourself into believing. My mom calls it the power of positive thinking. She doesn't call it that, but she says something along the lines of, just say nice things and then eventually you'll start believing things. Okay. Or some version of that. Use a hair dryer. That's, again, we're starting to get into such a complicated, it's not a bad idea, but okay. Yeah. Let's see. Let's try, I think I need a bigger paintbrush to do like a broad color, but I have this. And I'm thinking, magical thinking, that's a good one. Okay. I'm trying to read any comments in case I'm missing some. So let's see if I can't make a color that I'm gonna like. I really like kind of a minty sort of color. Let's see if I can. So when I do this in the future, I think I'm gonna get them to this stage and then airbrush like a pastel color onto them. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to order a bigger brush. So give me just 1 sec. Okay, I'm back and I've ordered some brushes, so they should be coming soon. Somebody said, is it Andrea, out of all the images you photographed over the years, which is your favorite? That's a tough question because there's a bunch that I really particularly have strong feelings about. Ooh, hold on 1 moment. Thank you. Just what I needed. Okay. So let's try mixing this color together. I need a little bit more blue and a little bit more white. And I'm going to do the thinnest coat of paint. Because I want it to obviously dry quickly and also just be kind of not too in your face. I like Easter eggs that are kind of soft colors. Okay. It's feeling pretty good. And you know what? I've got that foam still, and I've got toothpick. So let's see what happens here. Okay. What are you adding to what? So I'm adding yellow, green, and white. I can already see I like that. Let me flip this. You can see I'm just doing a very thin coat. I don't want this thick at all. And this is actually, you know, it's so funny. This is working so well and it's getting such a smooth color. And it's really even. So, okay. You know, it's so funny. I still have the weights in there. So this is making it heavier than it needs to be. And then we'll do some finishing brush strokes so it doesn't look too. And we'll just pop that right on. Right. Okay. Let's see. So we've got an egg. I like that color too. Okay, let me clean off the brush a little bit and I'll do another color. I think I'll do like a pinkish, maybe purpley kind of a color. This is fun still. I'm enjoying this. Let me take out the marbles because they're just like making this more difficult than it needs to be. Well, so much for the marbles and the dyeing and all of that. I know when I'm defeated as far as that goes. Mauve, I like that. Yes. Let's it to be shaken. Gangrene, I like that. So photo, let's see. Let's see, Christine. This switcher is a Roland. It's a V-02HD. And that's the mixer that we have. And then the camera is the Sony A7. And I think we have a 35mm lens on this. 35mm seems to be like one of the better lenses for creating like closest to what your eye actually sees. So people don't look distorted. And what happens a lot with a little bit blue and a lot of white. What happens with a lot of different lenses is you can do something and you look a certain way, obviously in person, and on camera it's like horrifically distorted and people don't look obviously as nice. For some reason, I look nice in normal photos, and if I try to take a selfie, like I tend not to look as nice, and it's because like the lens is doing funny things to you. You could probably use nail polish for this, totally. Picture. What is my favorite picture I've ever taken? I would say one of my favorites is the one I did so long ago. Oh, no, I know. I think I did a Tim Burton one where I was like all of the Tim Burton characters that I like the most. And it was really complicated to do, and I like loved it. I was so happy with the finished looking photo. And then I have like sentimental ones that I particularly really love, but they're not like professional. Like I wasn't like trying to like make like an amazing photo or anything. Ooh, I like this color. It's like exactly mauve. Somebody said mauve. Yes, phone cameras are curved like fisheye lenses. Yes. And the closer you are, the more distorted you look. Absolutely. And it's not pleasant. Okay. Ooh, I like that color. So this is, I'm going to swap this over. Okay, you know what? The weighted egg moved less and made this easier. So maybe the weighted egg is a good idea. We're still getting like Easter egg looking colors. Oh wait, I'm doing this off camera. I didn't. That one down. So we've got another one down. And I'm really liking these colors. And now we have to do a yellow because Easter, like I feel like Easter, one of the best colors for Easter is yellow, like a buttery looking yellow. And by the way, I'm getting paint all over my fingers. Here. I'm still having fun. And just to prove it, let's have a little more chocolate. And I'm going to do a hair of red because it'll pull a little bit more, but you just need a tiny bit, not too much. Sometimes yellows can look a little green, and you can fix that so quickly by just adding like a little bit of red. Yeah, I like that. That's a real happy looking. Maybe just a touch more of that red. Warm it up a little. Okay. Grab our toothpicks. I think I'm just going to do the 3 here. Right there. And let's paint this like buttercup yellow. Oh, I'm liking how that's looking. Now it's starting to look like a peep. All right. Okay, so we've got some Easter eggs. While those dry, I'm just going to paint another one while we sit and chit chat. I finally gave up on selfies. And honestly, I mean, some people, it's funny, the people that look great in selfies, just something about it works really great for them. And a lot, like some people, it's a terrible, terrible thing. And I don't think I've ever liked a picture I've taken of myself, like just holding my phone. Which is why I like tripods and all of that. Do you guys have any questions for me while I'm basically just playing while I wait for that one to dry, although that looks pretty close. Have you guys been watching any shows? So I watched the show Severance with, I think his name's Adam Scott. It's great, and it is so slow. Like many episodes in, and then the end is like it pays all of that off. So, oh gosh. Okay, that pierced all the way down. Ah. Okay. Have you ever been to New York's Easter parade? No. Is that fun? I will check that out. Any books you recommend? I'm kind of in a book wasteland at the moment. I have not come across a book that I was bonkers about. I started listening to Helter Skelter again while I did this lampshade project, just because I was like, I know I like that book. And that's kind of something fun you can do. You can sort of like, if there's one you really like, I just keep it, obviously. And then later, I kind of forget a lot of it. Did you add highlights to your hair? I did, just to make it a little bit more kind of a little prettier, I think. Have you ever read H.P. Lovecraft? No, I don't. I have a hard time getting into fiction for some reason. And I mean, obviously, I love movies that are fictional, but books I struggle with for some reason. Did your wedding have a theme? It was kind of 1940s-ish. Dandy Wellington has a part. I love him, by the way. I follow him on Instagram. He's a really beautiful man that like dresses all vintage. Has a party after the New York Easter parade. Ooh. Did you guys watch The Gilded Age? Oh my gosh. It was so, I loved it. It was like somebody just like made a show specifically for me. Maybe I'll do one more. That's feeling okay, nice. I'll be able to decorate that one in just a minute. I think realistically, I'll just decorate the one. Let's see. Caitlin Doherty books are fantastic. I don't think I've ever read any of her books. So we watched The Gilded Age. It was so fantastic. Okay. Oh, let's do another pink one because I like that color. It's more almost like it's a pinky lavender. And then obviously this technique of sticking a toothpick in it makes it kind of difficult. I would prefer to just spray these. I'll do that next time. So that is a workaround, is you just coat them. And then you can make, like, if you want to get like kids involved, you can get them to this stage and then you guys can all just break out paints and like paint little things on them and you kind of still get the same sort of ritual. Looking so pretty. All right, I think that's going to be all I'm going to paint. Did you guys watch Death on the Nile? I really liked that one. That was a new one that just came out. I've been watching like a lot of shows, like every night. I watched Euphoria and I loved all of that. We are starting a new show called The Tourist on HBO Max. HBO Max is just like on fire right now. They've got so many terrific shows going on. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside. I'm gonna start thinking about how we're gonna paint these. Do you guys like my little napkins that I got? They're like so fun and silly. And you know what? I haven't been using them, and I kind of should be. So I've got some gold paint, and I was thinking I could paint something gold on this. Westworld is so good. Oh my gosh. I watched all of those, and I'm dying for more. What are your recommendations for planting flowers in full sun and partial sun? Virginia, I don't know if you've watched me talk about plants before, but don't ever ask me for how to keep plants alive because I only can give you really good advice to kill them. I can give you advice on how to murder a plant and get away with it. But if it's keeping them alive you want, this is the wrong tree. Okay. Doing anything special tomorrow? I'm just shooting and working. I want to go on like a little, I need to go somewhere sunny and happy. So I'm doing all of the stuff and then I'll be done. And then my mom and I are going to go on. I think we're going to go to Savannah and maybe even down to Florida. So we're going to see. I just need to be able to wear like summer clothes again. And I'm very much looking forward to that. Okay, I need this back. And what do I want to do? You know, I'm thinking I could take this color. So you've got this color, this greenish. And if I get it over here, and I add like a little bit of black to it, I can get the same tone. And then I can do something that's going to match it, would just be like a deeper version of it. So it is wanting to pull gray though, so maybe I'll add just like a little sprig of blue back into it. What cat food do you feed them? I'm trying to remember. It's something. It's a black bag with orange on it. The captive handles the researching for me on all of that. Ooh, okay, this is the right color. So I've mixed a darker version of that so that wherever I paint this, my Easter napkins. And I've got a whole bunch of fine point brushes. Let me think about which one I'm going to go with. Okay. So this egg is dry. And we could do, there's a couple things we could do. And I'm torn. I don't want to duplicate something you're going to see in the lampshade episode because there is something silhouetted in that. What if I do like a jack-o'-lantern face? I like that. And then the cool thing about doing it this way is if you mess anything up, you can just take some of that original color and like fix it. So let's see what happens here. Now, theoretically, it would be better if I had the camera just a little bit closer, but I think you guys can see what I'm going to do. And I would say you don't really want to do anything obscenely complicated when it comes to an Easter egg because you have to do a lot of them. So doing things that are kind of simple yet fun looking, you're probably going to be a little bit happier with. Are you still having a contest? Yes. So I am doing that contest. It'll probably happen right at the end of the month because I want to have gotten back from that little excursion with my mom and have time to actually really thoroughly read through the responses. And there's a lot going on. And if for any reason there is a delay, it'll just happen right at the beginning of next month. I don't know how great this is looking. It's not too bad. I'm going to create little nostrils. And the mouth, I'm going to get kind of big. Can you guys see what I'm doing there at all? I'll turn him around a little bit so you can get a sense. He kind of looks like Mr. Is it Oogie Boogie? Oh, somebody asked, what is the contest? Here, I'll flip this. So the contest is going to be, I think it's going to be, I might, mix it up just a little bit. But help me find a cemetery to be buried at. And so the prize for the contest is I'm going to have a couple winners, and it's basically going to be all of the luxury items that I have sort of come across the last few years that I love so much. I'm going to create sort of like a big basket of those things. And we'll have like a number one winner. And it will just go up from there. But it's going to be, it's a really, really, you're going to like the things that are in the basket. And then I'll obviously make a list of everything that I include in case you don't end up being the person who wins, but there is something you want to try. This is just a little bit tedious. The nice thing with the jack-o'-lantern is it just doesn't have to look too perfect at all. And then once you get those teeth outlined, I might do a little spooky one, and then I might do something like pretty on the pink one. Does it have to be a realistic suggestion? Does it have to be in the US? It does not have to be in the US. And realistic is helpful. Like if it is, it should be a real cemetery. Because at the very least, if it's not going to end up being like the place that I take my permanent nap, then it can at least be a fun place that I might be able to go visit and see and experience. Okay. That's looking kind of creepy. I'm still working on him. I just the fates are not in my favor today. So now that I've kind of got like a little face that I've got going, I'm going to go in and take some black. Could it be in Germany? Totally. And I'm going to take some black and I'm going to go in and add kind of a little bit more contrast. If you keep the black floating right up at the top and not quite hitting the bottom, you can create a little bit of a gradient that looks just a little bit more three-dimensional. So I'm not going all the way down to the bottom with that black. I'm just kind of like melding it in. You can be a little bit messy with this because the ultimate effect is all you are looking for. We decided against burial and getting made into a diamond. So I want like obviously be like in a really fun coffin, but everyone gets to decide what's right for them. But I did look into, not for myself, but out of curiosity, cremation. And I don't know if everyone knows this, but they stick you in a blender after they bake you, which maybe works for some people, and I don't think that'd be cool with me. Not that I have anything against blenders. Okay, that's starting to look a little bit better. Just gonna do a touch right on the nostrils. And now, I'll flip that around and you can see. So he's got like a scary little face. And then I'm going to go around and make little dots, like as if he's like a polka dotted. And the dots aren't going to be perfect. They're just going to be like funny little shapes. So if you look at it at a glance, you kind of just think like, oh, it's like a spotted egg. And like I said, I'm keeping the dots really like imperfect looking. Let's see. So he's getting starting to look a little spotted. Again, you don't want to spend too much time on any one of these, so I'm being pretty quick and messy. And then once we've got these spots, we're going to go back in with that black and add just a few like shadows to them. Now let's see. I doubt you guys can hear it, but I know Professor Poof is close by because I can hear him snoring. Okay, that's looking pretty funny. So we're making this one look very, very kid friendly. And the next one, we're going to make a little bit prettier and not spooky, but just kind of delicate looking. Let's try something on the back. I'm going to put some cracks in here and see if I can't give it a little bit more interest. This is it's looking a little silly. I'm liking the little veins though. So I'm just using the finest little bits of black. Do you have any ghost stories this time? I do, and I'm going to save that for the end when I'm done. But I've got a good one. Too much. Okay. So I'm going to be real with you. I don't think I'm going to be winning any awards for this egg. But yeah. Let me hold it up so you can see it. He's just okay. I don't know. So that's that little guy. I'm going to set him down right there. This is always, by the way, it's hit or miss. Sometimes you do things quickly and it just looks like something great. And sometimes, and Jack Egglings, I can't pronounce. So now we're just going to do something pretty and delicate. And if you just want to make something look nice. So let's say we've got this one, the lavender one, and you're in a hurry. Just take some gold paint. Nothing looks fancier, I want to say, than like a flat matte pastel color with like some gold on it. It's easy, it works every time, and it always looks pretty. So you can just take some gold paint. And we'll just do little stars on this one. Just going to be like little starbursts. And I don't know if you can see that on the camera. We'll do a few of these. I kind of did this pattern in my mountain house. And I really love it. I feel like it's simple. And it makes things look really pretty. Like a Fabergé egg, totally. And we're just putting these around randomly, not in any order. I do tend to get quiet when I start focusing on something. I was secretly hoping that the sun would come out. So I don't know if you guys can see the little stars. And they can be like varying sizes. They don't all have to be the same. And you could do this, you could do like gold spider webs if you feel like spending a little bit of time, and it would look so pretty. I personally already love this just because, like I said, I like pastel colors with like gold accents. And if you're trying to punch out like a lot really quickly, this is a super simple design, and you can do spots, you could do all sorts of different things. Somebody said lace, and I think that's a great idea. You could hold lace over it really tight, and with a sponge on like a little bit of gold or another color. Okay. And I love how that looks. It stopped raining here. It's, I was secretly like, I was thinking the sun was going to come out, and it just is not at all. Okay, that looks so pretty. It's ready. And the fun thing about doing this is, again, you can hide candy in them. You can keep them year after year, and you did them. And one day you'll probably die, and so will I. And your kids might find this in some case and cherish them. It's like a fun, like, that's what's, I feel like it's so important to make things yourself, because they can become like family heirlooms later on, just things that your kids love. Grants, or the captives, grandparents made him these like special little Christmas ornaments, and we put them on the tree every year. We cherish them. They are so beautiful and special. And I think that's such a neat thing that you can do. So like you can still be involved in like your grandkids' Easter in some way, even if you're not there. Ooh, okay. I like this one. I like. Let me, I don't want to mess it up. But I don't know if you can see that one very clearly, but it's got all these little fun stars. And I'm happy with that one. Okay. Okay. we we hit a few snags in this episode, but ultimately, this has kind of grown on me a little bit. And so we've got like a little monster guy, and we've got prettiness and goofiness, but it's not too bad. This one's my favorite by far. Okay. Do you guys want to hear a ghost story before we wrap this up? So my mom doesn't even know this, because this just happened last night, last night, right after I got off the phone with her. And I will say, for me personally, it's the strangest thing that's happened in the entire time I've been in the house. So I have my own like bedroom that I hang out in. And and it's a long room. It's a pretty big room. And I was at one end of it, and there's like a mantle, like a fireplace in the middle. And I was walking back, and the TV was on, and like it's sort of, I was walking in between the bed and the fireplace and the wall. And I started walking, and something was all of a sudden in my vision, and I realized, oh, I need to get out of the way. And something passed me, and it was something my height ish. And then I looked, and nothing was there. And it was like, okay, that was really, really, really weird. It was like something was there, and my reaction was to get out of the way. And it startled me. And so I called the captive immediately. I said, oh my gosh. And I told him, he said, that just happened to me yesterday. The same thing. And he didn't say anything to me for some reason. So what we think, because we talked about it for a little while, is maybe like things come, like show up and then leave for periods of time and then come back to visit. Which, you know, if I was a ghost, that would be the dream. Like you could go to like Mars or some other planet and do all sorts of fun ghost things. And maybe you're like, hey, let's go check out the old house. And that's something you get to go do. So I've never had something like that happen here. The captive has never told me anything like that. And it was like a real something. I don't know, ghosts, whatever. It could have been a visual thing, but why would that have happened and then also have happened to the captive the day before? So spooky. I don't know. So we're going to work on this. Maybe next year we'll do another Easter one that I have like something that really works, like the airbrushing, something like that. I'll practice a little bit. Like I said, I love how this came out. That one I'm on the fence about. But 2 amazing episodes are coming out this month. You are just, like I said, the lampshade is a guaranteed. You're going to love it. And the vanity one, oh, dang it. I gave it away. I might as well tell you. The second episode that you guys are getting is I am completely like reworking my vanity and showing you how I do this. And it's really spectacular. So I didn't mean to give that away, but you're going to love it. So in the meantime, take care of yourselves, and I will see you again very soon. Thank you for tuning in for all of this, and I hope you all have a beautiful Easter.